Hey, what's up, everybody? I go by the name of Sir Maejor, and I am coming to you guys to do a live broadcast. I want to talk about this case that you guys see me talking about, the case that you see all over the news. Again, my friend attorneys, who I actually have phone calls with later on, we've got some conferences calls because some of them are doing some Toledo cases. But, it's a shame that black folks are put into these compromising situations, these uncomfortable, unbearable situations. And, I felt compelled to talk about this story because how can you call yourself not even an activist, but how can you call yourself black? How can you call yourself or classify yourself as an African American and you remain silent as another black person is being murdered? Murdered, I can't say on national TV because sometimes this stuff just isn't televised. But a black man was murdered, cold-blooded, for no reason. He was lynched. Police killings are modern-day lynchings. I see the debate over if you see me struggling with the police, don't record it, jump in. And while I say share that same sentiment, we have to be mindful. We don't need two dead people. So black folks are put in this compromised situation. Do I fight and get involved, or do I stand and record? I say to you, the simplest way to answer that question, if there are only two people, two witnesses, stand and record. Because without your video evidence and your testimony, it's the cop versus two dead people. Does that make sense? If there are only two people out on location, where you have a bystander, the person that's filming, and the person that's getting assaulted or accosted by the police, you don't get involved. You stand and you film from a distance. Now, if there was more than 4 people out there, and you have reasonable belief that someone was about to die due to the negligence or the mishandling by a police officer, get the fuck involved. Get involved if it's more than 2 people out there. Knock that cop's motherfucking head off. Because I will. Let Toledo police try that here. Let Atlanta police try that here. Let Michigan police try that here. I'm telling you, I'm knocking their fucking head off. And I'll worry about the consequences and repercussions on the back end. But I'm not going to let a black person die right before me. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. I applaud the Minnesotans who are out there handling their business. The white allies who are out there handling their business. You make me proud. Now, if only we can get Toledo and these other black cities like that. First got my start in activism, born and raised in Toledo, Ohio. Left Toledo, went to Atlanta, Georgia, where Atlanta, Georgia made me who I am. Atlanta, Georgia carved me to be this fearless, bold, relentless fighter. Atlanta, Georgia made me. And I can say that I'm a Grady baby as well. Wasn't born in Grady Hospital. But I received all my visits, all my doctor visits, all my hospital visits from Grady. This story isn't the only most recent story where a black man has been gunned down, where the public needed your outraged. I'm reminded of Ahmaud Arbery, the black man that was jogging in a white neighborhood out in Brunswick, Georgia. Some of you guys already know I had that case when it first came out, and I was doing some Toledo cases, and I didn't get involved, and I should have got that case. I look at my email like, damn, you dumb, bro. But I know that case is in good hands. I have, there's the best attorneys working on that, and those are my personal friends, so I'm confident that case is going to do well. I'm reminded of Breonna Taylor, a black woman killed. I'm reminded of so many cases that happen day in and day out where black folks who are unarmed or senselessly killed at the hands of white supremacists. How many black people have to die at the hands, specifically, of white supremacists? How many more? Now, I'm not here to attack President Barack Obama. I love Barack Obama. But when we talk about what did he do for black people, I would have loved to seen some federal laws put in place. I would love to see some federal laws in place that will go after these white police officers who kill unarmed and or handcuff black people. I would love to see some type of federal law in place. See, there's no deterrent. Let me tell you why these cops get away with killing us. Because there's a thing called immunity. Qualified immunity, sovereign immunity, police immunity. That's why they get away with killing us. Because they have immunity. 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 Which means that so long as if they were performing and the commissioner doing their job, they won't necessarily be charged. Because what white folks love to say, that police officers have a job that most people in America don't want to do. No one wants to get shot at. No one wants to respond to all these calls. And they try to sympathize and downplay being a police officer. They try to make people feel sorry for police officers. And granted, cops do jobs that no one wants to do sometimes. But the same goes for a doctor. The same goes for a lawyer. The same goes for a firefighter. Nobody wants to run into a burning fire. But it's the job that you sign up for. It's the training that you should have and the requirements to meet the standards. Cops ought to be held accountable when they violate their oath of office, when they misuse the public's trust, when they abuse their power and overstep their authority. Police officers ought to be held accountable in America. Justice for George Floyd. Justice for George Floyd. Say his name. George Floyd. Say his name. George Floyd. This is a very serious ordeal. A very serious matter. Something that cannot be taken lightly. You cannot scroll down your timeline and say, well, wasn't in Toledo. I didn't know him. You all have to get involved and you all have to say something. You all have to say something. You have to make it your business as if it was your loved one. You have to make it your duty to say something. Because as I have always said, silence is an endorsement to the violence. Whether you're black, white, Asian, Hispanic, silence is an endorsement to the violence. Shout out to all of our white allies out in Minnesota who have put themselves on the front line. That is what a good ally would do. Now, I'm going to speak to a different community right now. And I hope that I'm not offensive. It is not my goal to be offensive. But I'm going to say this in the most bluntest way possible. I'm going to first speak to the Hispanic community. Where are you at when black folks are in struggle? To the Hispanic community, where are you at when black folks need you the most? We organized and fought against DACA. We fought against no deportation. Where are you at when black people need you? See, black folks, we go running for everybody. We go running to save everybody. We go running to help everybody. But God damn it, when we need you most, you're silent and you're hiding. I don't respect it. I don't respect it. We never hear anything on a national front. We're talking nationally. We don't hear nothing on a national front from the Hispanic community. Let's talk about the Islam community, the Muslim community. And we ain't talking about Farrakhan and them. We talking about the other Muslims who have a big voice. Where are they at? The Arabs, where are the Arabs at? The Sunnis and the Shiites. Where are you at in America as black folks are under attack? As black folks are being beaten and gunned down and treated less than animals, treated like wild hogs. Where is the Islamic faith community at? We don't see you. I ain't seen you. What about the Chinese and Asian community? You profit so much money off of us. Day in and day out. From your nail stores, your beauty salons, your hair stores, your grocery stores, your corner stores. You profit off of our pain and suffrage. But yet, when black folks need you the most, you're nowhere in sight. Oh, honey, what we can do for you? What can you do for us? What will you do for us? What have you done for us? Except for profit off of our people. It's been more than 48 hours. More than 48 hours since George Floyd has been murdered. And we ain't seen nothing from the Asian community. Nothing from the Islamic faith, the Muslims, the Sunnis, the Sunnis and the Shiites. We ain't seen nothing. But everyone wants to jump on the bandwagon that all lives matter. God damn it, all lives couldn't possibly matter until black lives matter first. All lives can't matter if you are unwilling to declare and fight that all black lives matter. Black trans lives matter. Black disabled lives matter. Don't tell me that all lives matter if you're not willing to stand up for the basic black lives. Let me say this. Cops across America, y'all about to take a lot of heat. You're about to take a lot of heat. Although it didn't happen in your city, and you're probably comfortable that it didn't get your ass uncomfortable. You better get uncomfortable. Because the heat is coming next to you. I understand why black folk and poor brown people have no faith or trust in American law enforcement. It is no secret that law enforcement across America has been infiltrated by the Ku Klux Klan. The Ku Klux Klan. It is no secret. The FBI put that report out that the KKK has been infiltrated. I'm sorry, the police departments have been infiltrated by the Ku Klux Klan. They traded in those white hooded robes for police uniforms. They traded, and this ain't just for the police department. Same thing from the criminal justice system. They traded in those white hooded robes for the judge robes, for the jailer uniforms, the correctional officer uniforms. They've embedded America's most sacred positions. Enough is enough. The roosters are coming home to roost. The roosters are coming home, or the chickens, I should say, are coming home to roost. We're living in 2020 right now. This ain't 1950, the 1850s. This ain't the 1700s. Black folk got a mind of their own. It's a lot of rebellious slaves out here. I'm one of them. It's a lot of rebellious slaves out here, and I'm one of them. I'm Nat Turner, with the spirit of Harriet Tubman, with the mindset of Malcolm X, and the blood of Farrakhan. I'm a rebellious slave. So as they tell me, don't speak on this. They will start letting you in the meetings if you didn't say that. The hell with them. Y'all better start speaking up and saying something. I love y'all. Peace.